Well, COVID-19 is a very serious situation.
The new numbers, the more tests you take, the more positives you find.
There are more than 275,000 infections worldwide and more than 11,000 deaths.
And it really deserves our vigilance. But how does the constant social media streaming of worsening news affect our mental health? Where can we find some joy? Well, my guest will tell us more about joyology, how to recover from difficulties and reawaken our joy. And that's what's next. Well, welcome everyone. My guest is an award-winning international personality in the field of therapeutic humor and laughter. He is clinical psychologist Steve Wilson. He's now retired from the practice of psychotherapy, but he continues to promote happiness, health, and peace through laughter. And thank you so much for joining me, Steve.
Thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
It's great to see you. So in this time of COVID-19, how do we find laughter, joy, and peace as we try to work through all these worsening news headlines?
Well, I think we need to have more than one self-care strategy. So that's a good thing for people. How do you take care of yourself in hard times? I think every time we have a hard knock in life, we can look all around it. Not all sides of a situation are equally serious or grim. Some are less serious. And when we can find those and find an opportunity where we might be able to get a little bit of humor or laughter about a situation, we can find absurdity in adversity. It's possible, and we can learn how to do that. So, and I became fascinated with the effects of mirthful laughter. If you're really amused, and it can be a little giggle, doesn't have to be a knee slapper. It can be a small, little warm feeling. Oh yeah, that was kind of cute, and even a little giggle or a little chuckle, and instantly your brain chemistry changes. If you allow that in, and every system in your body gets a message: start being healthy. Start being healthy. And that continues for long periods of time, or until we get stressed. If we get stressed or we get aggravated or we get upset, shuts all the good stuff off, and the stress hormones get into the bloodstream, and muscles get tight and digestion gets messed up. So how do we keep the positive emotions, the chemistry of positive emotions going? That's where I came up with the Good-Hearted Living program. And you got to let yourself have balance in life. And the tough times, the scary things, it's okay to say, I'm going to give myself a timeout. I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to watch something funny on television. Let's put on one of our comedy videos that we like, a movie. It's okay. You leave your troubles at the door and go and do something that's fun. And then when you're done, you can go back and pick up your troubles if you want. They'll be there. You can have them again, but maybe they won't affect you in such a bad way. Take some time off.
Well, yeah, but so for many years I worked at our NBC affiliate here in Minneapolis, and so I kind of have a distinctive voice, but on the other hand, I have a more distinctive laugh. So if people are ever questioning whether or not it's me from that particular station, if they hear me laughing, they go, I thought it was you. That's because I'm a belly laugher. If I see something that tickles me, you're going to hear me from across the newsroom. So, or at least that particular case when I used to work there. Now it can be in a supermarket. But here's the other thing that you have. You have then 6 daily practices to prevent hardening of the attitudes, which I find fascinating. So we all need some good news. So you start with Mondays are for compliments.
I decided to associate each of the 6 practices with the day of the week. to just make it easier to remember. So it starts out with mindfulness. Mondays, you wake up, you say, well, Monday, what's today? Or any day, what's today for? Mondays are for compliments. That means that you tune in to look for good things about other people or situations and say something about it. And the practice is only 3 times. We just to get started. It's easy. 3 times on Monday. Look for good things. It's the antidote for being critical and judgmental and hurting people's feelings. And you can go all over the world. You'll never find a statue to honor a critic. We need to be boosted up, and we need to hear kind words. We say on Mondays, a kind word often goes unspoken, but never goes unheard.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then Tuesdays are for flexibility. Flexibility means that you train yourself to go with the flow. I like the definition of an optimist. It says an optimist is a person who can enjoy the scenery on a detour. And maybe there's more than one way to skin a cat. To be flexible, the tree that bends in the wind doesn't break. If you're rigid, if you're uptight, and you're not flexible, those are the people who crack and snap. We don't want that. So learn to be flexible. Wednesdays in Good-Hearted Living are for gratitude, being thankful for what you have. Not necessarily thinking that if you had more, you'd be happier. That usually doesn't work out. But learning how to be grateful and to remember to say thank you. You can go back in your life and you will recall people who helped you, who were kind to you. I say I thank people for believing in me when I was unbelievable. Gratitude is a good thing to cultivate. We do that on Wednesdays. Eventually, we'll do all these on any day of the week, but we're just getting started. Thursdays are for acts of kindness. An act of kindness is very simple to do. It's just looking around, seeing other people and saying, what's something that I could do in the next moment, almost immediately, that might make this person's life a little easier? I'll hold the door open. I'll carry a package. Just make another person's life a little easier. You'll feel better, they'll feel better. Acts of kindness. Fridays in Good-Hearted Living are for forgiveness. A lot of people find that tough, walking around harboring grudges and bad feelings and bitterness, and I'm angry, and that son of a gun, and that was years ago, but I can't let go of it. Well, it only affects you. It shoots up your blood pressure, it interferes with your digestion. Somebody said that holding a grudge is like taking poison but hoping that your enemy will die. So forgiveness is something we teach people how to do, and you can do it a little bit at a time. And then the sixth practice is so important that we give it 2 days, the weekend. Weekends are for chocolate in Good-Hearted Living, and chocolate is symbolic. I know a lot of chocoholics, people who like to eat chocolate. That's great. It's a comfort food. And the high cacao content of chocolate these days, we now know, is very good for our brain health and brain chemistry. But we use the word chocolate as a metaphor, Diana. It means anything that's sweet to you. The sweet things in life, don't let them be an accident. Make them things you plan for. Make them happen. You can do that. Don't just wait around to see if something good's going to happen. Plan for it. Do the things that'll bring it into your life. Take 2 days. Maybe you like to play with the kids. Maybe you want to wash the car. Maybe you want to read a book. Maybe you want to take a hot bath. Whatever it is. And that's the chocolate. So every day of the week has something to get started with. And you will cultivate 6 really powerful, positive attitudes that will keep the good things going in your life, and will keep stress off at a distance a little bit. Won't get to you so bad.
Words of wisdom to live by. We really appreciate you joining me today to share your 6 practices to prevent hardening of the attitude. You always think hardening of the arteries, but
Right.
in this particular case, it's definitely the attitudes.
Yeah, we need to soften ourselves up a little bit. We'll be more flexible. We'll be better off for it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Diana.
And then now for the folks who are watching, I want to send them over to where they can find out more about what you're doing. That is the World Laughter Tour. They can find everything that they need, all kinds of stress relieving things there, but that's worldlaughtertour.com.